Here we're given an equation and we are asked whether it's a circle, parabola, ellipse, or hyperbola. And I put the standard form of each of those different conic sections below it. So first off, if I look at the parabola equation, I notice that there is x is being squared, but y is not being squared. So I already know, since we have a y squared in our example, it's not going to be a parabola. So in order to figure out which conic section this is, we need to complete the square. The first step is to rewrite our equation, put the x's together and the y's together, and we're going to add 17 to both sides to move that minus 17 over to the right. Now I left a space there after the x's and after the y's, and I'm doing that because now we need to complete the square. We need to figure out what number do we need to put inside that parentheses so that that is something squared. So the way you find out what that number is you take the coefficient of the term that has the x and you divide it by 2 and you square it. So the same for the y's. We take that -4, we divide it by 2, and then we square it. So let's see what those equal. So we had to add 4 in there with the x's and 4 in there with the y's. So 4 and 4, we added a total of 8 on the left side, so we need to add 8 on the right side as well. So now we've completed the square. Now we need to factor it. So this, what is being squared here? So the way you can find this out easily is to look back up to that step in orange when we took that middle coefficient and divided it by 2. 4 divided by 2 is positive 2. That's what goes in there with the x. -4 divided by 2 is -2. That's what goes in there with the y. Now, I'm not sure. I know it's not a hyperbola because that is subtraction, so we know it's not hyperbola, but it might be an ellipse or a circle. So let's look at the ellipse. You see how it's set equal to 1? If we divide this by 25, and this by 25, and this by 25, then we'll have it set equal to 1. That looks pretty similar to an ellipse. The denominator is supposed to be something squared. Well, 25 is the same as 5 squared. All right, so let's take a closer look again at an ellipse and circle. If you look at the ellipse, the difference with an ellipse and a circle is that the denominator is 2 different numbers squared. Notice that number being squared is the distance from the center. So A is bigger in this example, and it's going vertical, and A is bigger in this example, and it's going horizontal. So A and B are different. It's a different distance from the circle going up and down than left to right. With the circle, if we wanted, we could take that and we could divide this by r squared. That means this is going to be equal to 1 as well. Notice for this one, the difference is the number it's being divided by is the same as it is in our example. That means that the distance from 0 going left to right and going up and down is going to be the same. The radius is the same all the way around the circle. So this example here is an ellipse.